Hello, my name is D-NVC2.
We've got the brand new Dante Network volume control in for a look today from Radio Design Labs. It's a PoE-powered configurable controller with a display and a simple end-user interface. Let's see how it works. Thanks to Radio Design Labs for sending this one over. Whenever they offer products for me to take a look at, I always jump at the opportunity. And you can find a playlist here on the channel of all the other stuff I've had from them in the past, including some other Dante gear. So this one here is their D-NVC2, which is just one of many single and double gang wall-mounted Dante interfaces and controls that they're offering now in this range. We head over to RDLnet.com, we look at their products and then their Dante products, so we can see all the other stuff they have in the Dante lineup, as well as the Dante D series, which includes a bunch of analog input and output options. They've got Bluetooth. These modules are also available in black, white, and stainless steel finish. You can see what those look like here. That's the stainless steel one there, and the all blacked out one there as well looks really nice. They also have, let's see, related products, a couple of, so we've got the D-NVC2, which has a screen, looks just like the one we're using, but this unit here can control the unit that we're looking at today, and you can get a number of these working. If you have a larger room or a more complex installation, you can get a number of these controlling the unit that we're looking at here, the network volume controller. And then they also have the D-NVC2, which also controls the unit we're looking at here today, but it's just a simple volume and push to mute, no screen. So a lot of really interesting options there, and you can check them all out again on their website. They've got so many unique products. Radio Design Labs, if you're not hip to what they do, the D series is huge. It's not just Dante products. They've got all sorts of analog, audio, and video products in the D series. If you're an installer, I'm sure you're very familiar with this stuff. And they've got all sorts of other Dante products. Again, we've looked at some of these on the channel before, headphone amplifiers and other output and input boxes. This model lets you route, configure, and control 2 Dante audio channels, and you do that right in Dante Controller for the routing, just like normal with any other piece of Dante hardware. And for the rest of the configuration options, they've provided their RDL console Windows software. In that RDL console software, you can customize the channel names, the attenuation levels for each of the channels, along with the option to sum 2 channels to mono and have that go out both of the outputs from this unit. There are also configuration options for the controller's user interface, including the option to set a security code to lock out the device and to set display timeout options. They also give you the choice of 5 background display colors, and you can even set the acceleration feel of the encoder, and that encoder also has detents, so it's a really nice premium feel encoder to use. You can press to mute on this encoder, and as you might imagine, when you push on the encoder, it does mute the audio signal, and then you can push the encoder again just to unmute the audio signal and return it to the level you previously had it. But if you have it muted, you can also just rotate the encoder clockwise, and that'll let you manually fade the volume up from 0 to the new desired level. So that can be a really good way to prevent unmuting an unknown level. You can always choose to bring it up manually from the muted state. Even on the desktop controlling a Dante feed to my monitors, this remote is extremely useful. I could absolutely see these finding a place in all sorts of different situations beyond wall mounting them, because they're just so handy to have on any type of Dante feed, especially those going to speakers or power amps that you can't otherwise control easily, let alone give simple control to an end user. I'm sure many of you can think of situations where having something like this, where you could set a maximum level and then give simple up and down volume control and muting to a client for an overflow room or a zone or something. Even in live scenarios, I could see this coming in very handy for certain applications, and I bet plenty of you can think of some creative ways to use these as well. So now that we've got an idea of how this unit works, let's put some audio through it and take a listen to how it works. So that was just taking a split through Dante controller and routing it back using Dante Virtual Sound Card into OBS to record the sound you're hearing directly from the RDL volume control. So hopefully you were able to hear that it operates quietly and doesn't make any loud clicks or weird noises while you're muting or unmuting or taking the volume up or down. I wish I had one of the remote controls here to demonstrate how those work controlling this unit, but I'm sure it's a pretty seamless process once you get it set up. One thing to note is that they do sell a number of different accessories, again in all the different colors. They sell different cover plates, which are not the ones that I used in this video. This is just a cheap one that I picked up at the hardware store. I'm sure theirs are much higher quality, so don't let that deter you. They also sell some really cool boxes here that you can use to desktop mount one or more of these. So that's really interesting. And then they also sell some 19-inch rack mount modules, as well as some surface mount boxes and all sorts of other boxes here. And something I noticed about this one, like pretty much every Dante device I've tried, is they run warm. Now, it's nothing to be alarmed about. I wouldn't say they run hot. And I wonder if there's any work being done at all. I don't know if that would be Audinate or whoever would be working on it to reduce the power consumption of some of these Dante devices, because it seems to me that a lot of it is dissipated as heat. That's a conversation for a totally different video with somebody with more expertise on the subject than I have. It's definitely not anything unique to Radio Design Labs products or this product. And I tried to open this one up to see a little further what was going on inside, but I couldn't figure out how to get into it non-destructively.
I'm fine!
So I didn't want to push it or go too far to try to see what the chip said or what was inside, but maybe Radio Design Labs can shed some light on that for us if anybody is curious. I'm sure they'll be keeping an eye on the comments here as well, so if you have any questions or ideas or thoughts about this, please do leave them here, and I'd love to do a follow-up video on this one or more of their stuff in the future, because this is really cool, and I think a lot of you are going to have some really neat ideas on how to use these in the real world.